I would like to invite Mariam and Ritu back to the stage and open it up for Q&A with the audience and the panelists. Randolph, if you can please come back. Mr. Javed Saab, if you can come back. Ritu, Mariam, please come to the stage. We're going to have Ainan, Imran, and I think one more volunteer pass on the mics, and you can ask the questions. It's open forum. You can ask anything. Nobody's going to take anything personal. All right. Who's the first question? Please raise your hand. I know some of you had questions before.
Shaista ji wanted one question.
Shaista ji, can you pass the mic to her? You want to ask? So I think she asked first, so we'll give it to her.
Well, I want to say that जब से सुन रही थी कि what's wrong with India, I want to say what's right with India also, because 1.3 billion लोगों में थोड़े लिंचिंग भी होगी, थोड़ी नफरत भी होगी, जैसा खानवीर जी ने कहा कि माँ के एक बच्चे कोई शरीर होते हैं, कोई लड़ाई करते हैं, कोई आपसे पंच भी कर देते हैं, बट आप अपनी माँ को चाहना नहीं बंद करते. I love my motherland, I love India, and I work very hard in India. I go into villages spreading communal harmony, unity, and Ilahi Saab, with all due respect, अगर पाकिस्तान कभी इंडिया से मिला तो एटलीस्ट सीख लेगा how to be one with everyone, because having grown up in India, मैंने ये सीखा कि जहाँ ईद, दिवाली और क्रिसमस साथ मनाते हैं, ऐसा है मेरा इंडिया. जहाँ हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई भाई भाई कहलाते हैं, ऐसा है मेरा इंडिया. चाहे दुश्मन कुछ भी कह ले, चाहे नेता कुछ भी कर ले, ऐसा ही रहेगा मेरा इंडिया. And also, मुझे आज भी है यकीन कि मेरा इंडिया बदला नहीं. मुझे आज भी है यकीन मेरा इंडिया बदला नहीं. श्री राम के नारे लगाने वाले श्री राम को जानते नहीं. मुझे आज भी है यकीन मेरा इंडिया बदला नहीं. अल्लाह अकबर पे दहशत फैलाने वाले ये जानते नहीं अल्लाह रब्बुल आलमीन है, रब्बुल मुस्लिमीन नहीं. मुझे आज भी है यकीन मेरे सरदार वीर मेरी एक चीख पे आ जाएंगे मुझे बचाने, मेरी राखी की लाज बचाने. मुझे आज भी है यकीन मेरा इंडिया बदला नहीं. अगर हमको आगे बढ़ना है तो वी हैव टू स्टे यूनाइटेड, वी हैव टू प्रॉस्पर. कुछ गलतियां होंगी मगर we just can't talk about what's wrong, we have to also talk about what's right in India. And I feel the way I grew up, I'm so proud to be an Indian. I grew up celebrating Eid, Diwali and Christmas. मेरी दोस्त है संचिता चटर्जी बॉम्बे में, वो मेरे घर आती है, पूजा करती है, मैं उसके घर जाके नमाज पढ़ती हूँ. क्वेश्चन नहीं है सर, ये कमेंट है. और क्वेश्चन ये है कि लेट्स ऑल बी यूनाइटेड. I know कि जहाँ भी जो भी हो रहा गलत हो रहा, मगर let's just not talk about what is wrong. Let's talk about what's right. And I'm very proud to be Indian. And Jai Hind.
May I reply to this? Yeah. Let's get the questions. Turn this mic on.
There's a mic.
Hello?
We have the mic.
It's right here. May I respond to this? I guess you can go to the
Well, may I respond to Shaista ji? May I respond to you, Shaista ji? See, you are right, there was communalism earlier also in India. Before the present government came to power in 2014, there was, but it was latent and it would erupt only occasionally. What has happened after 2014, that it has become continuous, it has become virulent. This communalism has been, this party which is in power thrives on it. It can't survive without it. So what was earlier happening only occasionally and it was otherwise lying latent, it has erupted. It has become widespread. I mean, with due respect, Shaista ji, may I tell you, and I'm telling you very truthfully, when I am sitting with my own close relatives and friends who are Hindus, and they are sure there is no Muslim present, they spout venom against Muslims. let me complete. When a Muslim is lynched, let me tell you, Shaista ji, when a Muslim is lynched, most Hindus are either indifferent or some are even happy, one terrorist less. What I'm saying is, yes, there was communalism earlier also, but it has gone much further now. This polarization, the trend, I'm talking of the trend. You are right, there was communalism earlier also, but it has increased the polarization. I mean, you can't ignore the truth. How long will you ignore the truth?
No, but you can't put 1.3 billion people into the same category, sir, because they are...
May I answer that? Yes, I will answer that also. Madam, I will answer that also. If you are patient enough to hear the answer, madam, if you are patient enough to hear the answer, please hear the answer. See, I myself believe that most people are good by nature, but their minds can be poisoned by propaganda. For example, Germans, I met many Germans, you must have met many Germans, they are first-class people, very nice people. But there was a time in Hitler's time when the whole nation went mad. Pura mulk pagal ho gaya tha. Hail Hitler, Sikh Heil, send the Jews to gas chambers. Propaganda is such a powerful thing that good people can be made into bad people by propaganda. The whole nation, German nation went mad at one time. This is what is being done in India. So please don't try to, say that, oh, this was always happening, it will keep on happening. No, it is increased.
We have to move on to the next. Now we have a lot of opportunity. We'd love to give you an opportunity, Shaista ji. We have a lot of guests here. We have respect for everyone. We have to please respect everyone. There's a lot of guests here. Next question, please.
I have next question from Dr. Nazir Ahmed here. Dr. Nazir Ahmed is a scholar, a scientist. He's from the Bay Area, and he has a few things to say and has some questions.
I'm a former member of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly. I sit on the State Knowledge Commission in Bangalore. I'm also a director of the World Organization for Resource Development and Education in Washington, D.C. My question to each of the panelists has to do with Mr. Savarkar. And I'll read to you. Mr. Savarkar wrote, and I quote, "In Hindustan, land of the Hindus, lives and should live the Hindu nation. All others are traitors and enemies to the national cause, or, to take a charitable view, idiots. The foreign races in Hindustan may stay in the country wholly subordinated to the Hindu nation, claiming nothing, deserving no privileges, far less any preferential treatment, not even citizens' rights." And he continues, "To keep up the purity of its race and culture, Germany shocked the world by her purging the country of the Semitic races, the Jews. Race, pride at its highest has been manifested here, a good lesson for us in Hindustan to learn and profit by." My question to each of the panelists is this. It is nice what you have said. I agree, the philosophy of it. But if Mr. Savarkar was with you on this panel, what would you say to him? And then specifically, as a legislator from India, I asked you, what specifically would you do to combat the forces of Hindutva? And lastly, a very tough question. What answer would you give the child whose father has been killed or lynched for no other reason than a rumor that he ate beef, or a Kashmiri boy who lost his eyesight because he happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time? Thank you.
I know, Dr. Saab, very honored to have you here. You've been a former legislator of India. head of a lot of organizations and a scientist. We can only ask one panelist to answer because we have a lot of people asking questions. We see a lot of hands coming up there. So Justice Kaju, do you want to answer that question?
Yes. You wanted to know about Savarkar. Well, very simple to answer. See, he had become a British agent. The British policy of divide and rule make Hindus and Muslims fight with each other. See, the British were very intelligent people. The British administrators, they were often very young patriotic people who were genuinely at one time secular and patriot. The British would arrest them, put them in jail, and tell them that we will make you rot in jail all the rest of your life unless you become a British agent. And then the fellow would give a appeal for mercy, pardon, and he was released, but he came out as a British agent. Somebody who was earlier secular, after coming out of jail, he became highly communal and he started, preaching hatred of Muslims and all this. This was very, very common technique of the British. So Savarkar was also that type. Initially, when he went to jail, he was possibly a patriot. But when he was released from jail, after a few years in jail, he came out, obviously he was given an offer by the British that either you become our agent or you spend your rot in jail for the rest of your life. And he said, all right, I don't want to rot in jail, let me go free. And he went free, but after that he started spouting venom against Muslims. So this is a very, very well-known trick of the British, nothing to be so worked up about.
Thank you. Kaju Sahab.
Yes, sir. I was very impressed with your speech. Not only you presented India as a country to the world, but India as a democratic and respecting all religion. Since you said Akbar the father and Ashok the grandfather, Ram the great-grandfather, I agree with you. I'm talking to you about what, also you said that it's derailed, we got to put it back on the track. So that's my question. Derail, India ट्रैक से नीचे उतर गया, वापस उसको चढ़ा देना, तो वो मेरा क्वेश्चन है, how do we do that? I'm from Hyderabad, Deccan, where Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah 400 years ago ruled. Now, you talk about Akbar having Hindus in the cabinet. We know Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had Abul Kalam Azad in his cabinet. Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah had Akana Madana, his treasures ministry, and he built a Char Minar, which was a centerpiece of the city and also kind of religious symbol for Muslims. In it there is a mosque. On the corner of it there used to be a small peace stone about 3 foot, and they start putting the kukum for puja. Now they have built a big, built a big mandir on it.
What is your question?
How do we control the government encouraging RSS people to do their work and suppress the Muslim practices in the country?
Thank you.
One thing I really want to request, please don't make statements. I know you have a lot to say, but since respecting everyone's time, just please keep it to the question. We really appreciate it. I know there's a lot of people showing up. I think Justice Kaju is probably the right candidate to answer this. He probably has already answered it, but I'll just pass it on again.
See, there are powerful forces which want India to remain backward and poor. And the method to do it is to make Indians fight with each other in the name of religion, caste, language and so on. So we have to see through their game and we have to be united, because unless we are united, and we launch a historical struggle. You see, we have to transform India from the second world, the underdeveloped world, and bring it into the ranks of the developed world. That must be our national goal. On that, there must not be any compromise. Because unless we do that, we remain condemned to poverty and unemployment and lack of health care, lack of nourishment and massive problems. We must transform India and make it a highly developed, highly industrialized country. For that, unity is absolutely essential. People must realize that it is you see, because there's so much diversity in India, it is easy for our enemies to make us fight with each other because of the tremendous diversity in India. So we must realize this, and we must educate the people patiently that look, despite your diversity, you must be united, otherwise you will be always poor and backward. And let me tell you one thing, poor people are kicked around in the world. Nobody respects the poor. Do you respect a poor beggar when you go out for a morning walk? You may throw a coin at him out of sympathy, you will not respect it. You are not given respect. You are 1.3 billion people. You are not given a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. England has only 62 million people. France has 65 million people. You have 25 or 20 times more people in India. Yet, you are not given a permanent seat in the UN Security Council. Why? Because your country is poor. As long as you remain poor, you will never be given respect. If you want respect, you must make your country highly industrialized, then only we will solve the problems.
I would like to please keep your questions very specific. I'll pass it on 1 second.
I just have one thing that I can say that'll only take a moment. When I was in Nepal, and I appeared on Nova, the Himalayan megaquake film in Nepal, I saw that Hindus and Buddhists got along so much that they each attended the temples of the other. And they did their festivals together, and they did their ceremonies together. Wow. It was just so impressive, so moving, and it was such a cultural depth of engagement. And it goes way beyond whether or not there's development and whether or not people were working in Nepal. But I mean, from the outside, everybody says third world country. But no, it is one of the most interesting and deeply moving places on the planet.
I will come to everyone who raises their hand.
Okay, a very short question. I mean, my name is Iftikhar Hai. I'm involved in interfaith work from the last 35 years in the city of San Francisco. We always pick up a secular name. Now, I being a Muslim, I would like to recommend that Ibadat Gah be changed to the house of worship. You can attract a lot of Christians and Jews and Hindus and everybody, because this is really, the name itself I feel is giving prominence, to Urdu.
No, that's not correct.
No, but I mean, that is a global interpretation. Because when you're doing global interpretation.
May I answer that?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
See, when we considered the word Ibadat Khana, some people said, oh, this is a Muslim name, how can Hindu accept it? So I said, look, you please understand the historical context. The word Ibadat Khana has a historical context. You go on Google and see what the meaning of Ibadat Khana. It was the house of worship created by Emperor Akbar, not for Muslims alone. It was for Hindus also, for Christians also, for Sikhs, Parsis, Jains. Everybody came together. So please consider Ibadat Khana word in the historical context. It means getting together. This has never happened in history. It was unique in history. You see the books of history, you will not find anywhere in the world where this happened. So don't take it literally. And and making a mountain out of a molehill that, oh, this is a Muslim name, how can Hindus accept? See, if you read history, you'll understand. The answer is there in history.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Faraz Sattar. I'm a local San Ramon resident. Thank you, very well spoken by all of you. My question is, whatever happens in India and everything that'll happen there, I want to bring this conversation back to us, for us individuals living in the Bay Area. What are one or two things that you guys would recommend, especially those living in the Bay Area? What are a couple of things that we all can do? I have great Sikh friends, I have great Hindu friends, most of my clients are Hindu and Sikhs. Okay, so the point what I'm asking is, what are some of the things that we can do in the Bay Area locally on a day-to-day, weekly, monthly basis to improve this concept of Ibadat Khana?
Good question. Who wants to take this?
Thank you for that question. I think it's a difficult question as to what we can do on an individual level, but that's where it must start. Iftikhar has this interfaith thing that he does with the Jewish. There's not really much of an interfaith going on between Hindus and Muslims. I think we probably need to get that off the ground. There is also, I'm sorry, were you saying something?
Sardar ji bata
So basically we have to work on those we all have friends that are of the other religion. There's a great organization here, it's called Bay Area Cricket Foundation, which does cricket matches in about 35 groups, and a lot of people on there are Indians and Sikhs and Hindus and Muslims. So that's what needs to move forward, and things of that might help.
That's a very relevant question, although I have a family in Bay Area, but I live in Yuba City. One thing I didn't mention, you probably all know, I will come to that. You all know about Darbar Sahib Golden Temple. You know who laid the foundation stone of that? A Muslim Peer, Mian Mir. We need to share our interfaith. We need to share with each other. Who was the companion of Guru Nanak? Mardana, Muslim. He never asked him to convert. He stayed with him all his life. So that is called interfaith. So I think we need to reach out to friends outside our community. When we celebrate our kids' birthdays, just don't invite your relatives and friends, but invite people from the cross section. Okay, not just Indians or Pakistanis, invite Americans too. That's how you're gonna help them grow with an open mind when the kids grow up. And then what we do in Yuba City, actually, some of my friends, well, we have to all work tomorrow, they're getting restless, but I want to acknowledge all my friends who came from Yuba City, and my family came from San Jose. What we have started doing in Yuba City is we have a community center. Every 3-4 months, we invite a speaker who specializes in different fields. Like we invited Khalid from Pakistan. He came and talked about his book. So I think we need to start doing events. We all need to respect and understand each other's faith properly. A lot of our perceptions are based on falsehood. We think Muslims did this or Hindus did that, but when you really understand there are a lot of great things in Hinduism, a lot of great things among Muslims, a lot of great things among Buddhists, we need to learn the positives about each other. And we can only do it by having a frequent dialogue. Then you can build a group together. Charity, English में एक word है ना, charity begins at home. It should start from us before we tell others to be nice. First, we should be nice to others.
He's been waiting. After this, we go there.
Sorry, yeah. Okay. Thank you for giving me the chance to ask questions. First of all, my name is Asif Arastu. I'm unique that I was born in India. I lived as an Indian citizen, then I lived as a Pakistani citizen, and I became a British citizen, then I'm now an American citizen. So, yeah, a good example of getting everywhere. Very good, thank you. Very good thoughts I've heard from all of you. No religion on earth teaches a person to hate one another. Every religion says that you have to love your neighbor. This is any recognized universal religion. So I have two quick questions. One may be a little longer. First question is, when Kashmir is locked up, about maybe, I don't know, 2, 3 million or 5 million, how many people there are. 8 million people are locked up in a way that is against their wishes. Do we still have the right to call India as the largest democracy in the world? That's the first question. Second question, Judge Saab, he had very good thoughts, and you inspired me and enlightened me about history and the historical heritage of India. However, the problems got really, really worse in the recent times. And the reason for that is not only the British started to have divide and rule, but now, as Javed Elahi has said, we have Facebook, we have WhatsApp. One little thing can go around the world in 5 minutes and spoil the minds of thousands of people. So with that in mind, and you want to get the people united in India, but the forces of internet and online propaganda machine are so large, how can we fight a country like the United States, most advanced country? We're talking about India is not advanced, but US is most advanced. And look at what has happened in America with internet and online communications and propaganda, taken a person like Trump to a level that he is, and he continues to say lies and so on. But I don't want to harm anybody who's a Trump supporter, but the question is to Mr. Javed Elahi. How do you think we can fight this propaganda machine that's going around with billions of connections online?
Thank you for the question. And that was my point. I mean, I went through the whole internet episodes. We are part of the fake media. We are all now journalists in a sense, because every one of us retweets, re-WhatsApp, re-Instagrams, re-Facebooks. Let's stop that. And even if you like the person, I mean, they're making fun of Modi, for example, and you love that, don't pass it on. If they're making fun of Imran and you love it, don't pass it on. Or if they're making fun of Nawaz, don't pass it on. Because ultimately, what they're trying to do is have you lose respect for your structures, or for your courts, for your parliament, for your ministership. They're not really attacking the person, they're attacking the structures. That's one. The second thing is, on the other hand, where there's a justice and oppression and other questions like that, do pass it on. Because hate spells really fast, and you need to balance that. It doesn't work without that. And we may be a small group, but Margaret Mead said, never let it be said that a small group of committed individuals cannot change the world. It's the only thing that has. I'm also reminded of Muhammad Ali's statement. He was riding in a cab, and the cabbie asked him, told him that when I was a child, I saw you knocked down on the floor. And Muhammad Ali responded, I've never been knocked down. He said, what do you mean you've never been knocked down? I saw it myself. And Muhammad Ali said, no, you didn't see it. I was just getting up. And I'll say the same thing for the people of Kashmir. You haven't been knocked up. You're just getting up.
I remember there's an old Hindi movie, Jehudi, and that's Ram Modi says, "Tumhara khoono khoon aur hamara khoon pani hai." So my point is, we worry about when injustice happens to our own community, but we don't speak up for others. We should speak up for any injustices happening within Pakistan. If they're happening within our community, we should speak injustices happening within our community. That's how you will get support from. I know, I was in Punjab when Punjab was locked up. I know the feeling. So we cannot say that my pain is more than yours. That is the problem. If we all speak up, we create a civil society which will speak about injustice. Doesn't matter it happens to a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh. Then we will have a lot more voice, a lot more power. If otherwise we are all fragmented, just speaking for ourselves.
Assalamu alaikum. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Where is the judge sahab?
He's coming.
He made a statement. I want to ask him this question. He wants Akhand Bharat, United India. I was born in Hyderabad. My mother is from Madras. My father is from Bangalore. I grew up in Pakistan, went to engineering in Lahore. And the first time the Sikhs came to Lahore in 1970s, and when they were going back, they said nobody has given us more love than the Pakistanis. The people, the rickshaw driver, the cab driver, the restaurant person, that was 1970. Judge Sahab, you said that you want India united. India was broken up by the Hindus in the Congress who said that Pakistan cannot be made over my dead body. Ambedkar, let me finish please. Ambedkar wrote a book, Dr. Ambedkar, in 1940, Pakistan, the division of India, who wrote the Constitution of India. If you want love to flourish, then this thought of saying that Akhand Bharat or United India is a thought that will divide the people, not unite. Your unity method is through economic means. Economic comes later on. First, it has to be the love. And the Sardar Sahab will understand when I said in Lahore, in 1970, when the Sikhs said, we have not seen so much love. Today, Kartarpur is the reason of that love. We love the Sikhs to come. So please, if you want what you're trying to do, get this thought out of your mind that India will be one. India created Bangladesh. The leaders of India should understand that they were instrumental in the creation of Pakistan. So please refrain from making such a bold statement. Your intention may be good. You want to uplift the poverty of the Indian people, but this statement divides, not unites. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next. Do you want to respond? Yes, go ahead, respond.
It's the last question.
That's the last question. Okay, so, but I'll have to then give me a little time. See, this partition of India was a historical British swindle. For two reasons. Why was India partitioned? For two reasons. Number one, that this subcontinent should not emerge as a modern industrial giant and thereby become a rival to British industry. And secondly, because the arms sales of the foreign arms manufacturers may continue. Today, India, Pakistan import huge amount of weapons from the developed countries, and therefore it's a big market for the developed countries. If we unite, then the market will disappear. The whole game was make Hindus and Muslims fight with each other. We are actually one country. The whole mischief started, as I told you, from 1857. I don't think you have read Indian history so much as I have, so let me tell you. Before 1857, there was no communal problem. Hindus and Muslims used to live together like brothers and sisters, sharing each other's problems, participating in each other's festivals. Everything starts from 1857. Please get this clear. After mutiny and after suppressing the mutiny, the policy came from London. Hindus and Muslims must be made to fight with each other. This poison was injected into our body politic year after year, decade after decade, and I told you the method. You read my article, The Truth About Pakistan, which was published in a Pakistani newspaper called The Nation, and you will understand. So, it's a matter of time. We are one country, and you are saying you remove this from my mind. I say you remove your concept from your mind. I mean, this is no argument. You are telling me, let us agree to disagree. I am entitled to hold my opinion, you are entitled to hold yours. No, you hold your opinion, I will hold my opinion, there is no problem. I respect your opinion, but you must respect my opinion also. Don't tell me to remove my opinion. I am not telling you to remove your opinion. You hold whatever opinion you like, but don't tell me to remove my opinion. I will hold whatever opinion I like. That's my business, not yours.
Salim Sahib, I think you misunderstand what Justice Khan is going with. I think he's looking at it more in a question of with love of each citizen with each other, with respect for each other's humanity, with respect for love, and more of a Euro trade zone type thing, but yes, the love has to be built first. So it's not like India is going to dominate Pakistan. I don't know if you heard my response before to this. I said if you want to really create India and Pakistan and Bangladesh together, make a new country called Pak Vindhya. And you go from there. I don't think Pakistan is giving up any freedom, not a iota of freedom. Pakistan would not give up any freedom, India would not give up any freedom. And it's really not about the countries having freedom, it's about the citizens having full freedom to exercise their human rights, to exercise their religious rights, to exercise their spiritual rights.
Okay, question from this lady, please.
Hello. Yeah, a very small direct question to the Honorable Jatsa. I'm here. Yes. I want to find out if Babri Masjid was really built on Ram Janambhoomi.
May I answer that? Yes. In 1 minute I will reply. See, it was all a big fraud by the Britishers. How can anybody say that Ram was born in this particular spot? Somebody, mythical character or historical character, that also we don't know. But supposing he was a historical character born 5,000 years ago, who can say he was born exactly in this spot where this mosque is built? This is just, again, mischief by the Britishers. After the mutiny, this divide and rule policy came. So part of that policy was this propaganda that Ram was born here in this mosque. All mischief by the British. I mean, you people must have some brains to understand. How long will you remain without brains? It's so simple to understand. ये पूरा खेल था लड़वाने का. आप लोगों को अकल नहीं है. तभी हम कहते हैं कि आप लोगों के यहाँ there's cow dung in your head. You don't have brains. You can't even understand simple things. It's all mischief. हम लोग को लड़वाना, हिंदू मुस्लिम को लड़वाना है, ताकि कमजोर रहे, ताकि domination over the subcontinent may remain with them. That's the whole game, and you can't understand a simple thing.
Thank you so much. Sorry, we know we have people.
One quote I will read.
Okay, we really are out of time. Please.
The quote at the very end of the book, I hope some of you might get, is a quote from T.S. Eliot in Little Gidding. And it is, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know it for the first time."
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Randolph. So we're going to